Map maker, make me a map. Throw down some lines, draw out a trap. Map maker, write in your book and draw me a perfect map.
Hello. If you couldn't tell, I'm a theater kid. But that's not exactly why I was here today. That little melody has been stuck in my head for weeks now, so I figured I might as well just record it and put it in front of this stream because it just makes the most sense. In any case, my name is Samantha. I am the creative director here at Nerdcrafty.com. I'm also one of the producers, artists, directors. I wear pretty much all of the hats at some of the points. But today what we're working on is the Great Map Experiment. This experiment was kind of something that I was toying around with. I got Incarnate, and I just recently figured out that they have this random world generator tool. So it just kind of creates whatever shape land. So I did that, and I ended up making this ginormous map. And hold on, I'll show it to you. You can zoom out on it and actually center it. Oh, here. I think that just, yeah, there we go. So you can see the gigantic map. So each one of these little red X's, and you can see them if I zoom in closer, is a location where we are going to be putting something interesting. And I just want to do at the top, like say at the top of the stream, that while my intention for myself is to use these for games of Dungeons and Dragons and other fantasy role-playing games, I'm writing these in a way, or we are writing these in a way, because I'm asking for your input constantly on this. So if you're in the chat, say hi. What we're going to do is write them in a way where it's a little more ambiguous so that they can be adapted into different types of RPGs or just used as a writing background. So that's what my plan is today, and it's been requested that we do a dungeon. So last time we worked on some ruins. We've also done a starter town. You can see where the ruins are right here, the ruins of Catastrophe, and the PDF, if you want the information from that, is available at my coffee, and it's also available on the Nerdcrafty Discord. Somewhere down below me in the panels is where you can sign up to join our Discord, which is completely free. There is no obligation whatsoever to join. So what I'm going to do is we're going to decide where we want to put the next thing, which is our dungeon. So we have 4 major continents. We have a northern continent, a southern continent, a western continent, and an eastern continent. We've built on the east and the south continent before, so I'm thinking maybe we should tackle either the west or the north. If anyone is in chat and they want to throw in their 2 cents over where we should build the next thing, which is our dungeon today, go ahead and chime in. The choices are north or west. And personally, I'm kind of feeling more of the west continent, just because last time we kind of worked in a more icy tundra area. So it might be more fun because this is more like a jungle kind of area, or we have like a highlands mountain sort of range over here. There's also a bog, and there's kind of this beachy rift area where you can see the continents in the past have pulled apart. We also have like this location right here next to this land bridge. But I kind of was thinking that might be a better spot for a city. But those are the locations we have available over here. There's also an island kind of separated on its own, which is pretty cool. As for the northern continent, again, just like a vast area of icy tundra. There's like some snow dunes over here. Some prime locations in the mountains for like some mines or a town, and then there's a spot on the bay over here, and a spot on the other side of the land bridge but further away. So if I'm not gonna get any input from anywhere else, and let me make sure that there's not anything over in the Discord channel, because I also have a chat over there that you can join if you are in the Discord. If you're making suggestions on the Discord channel, you're going to want to go where it's listed as the Great Map Experiment in the folders and go down to where it is, where it says the map. So that's where I'll look for suggestions there. And yeah, it doesn't look like anything's there yet. So we're going to go ahead and go with this western continent. And then if I zoom in, let's, let's go ahead and we'll take this spot on the island here. It's kind of isolated, which is nice. We can kind of play with things however we want. It doesn't necessarily have to tie back to anything on the main continent, whereas if we chose one of the other locations that is more connected with the rest of the world, we're going to have to consider like how they're going to influence these other locations because of proximity. But if it's an island, it can be fairly isolated. Things could have developed on their own in the past, so it gives us a little more to play with. So with that known, I'm gonna hop over to here and get my pen out. Make sure it's working because it wasn't earlier. All right, we're good. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to write down. My handwriting is atrocious when I'm all zoomed out. What am I doing? I apologize if I'm a little spacier than I normally am. Eek. Island on the west continent. And we'll just keep that there for now. Oh, hey Weston, how's it going? If you missed it, yesterday Weston did an amazing art stream where he was working on some of the art for our Willow podcast. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely, you need to go back and watch that stream. Stay till the end because the finished product at the end is chef's kiss. But Weston, we're working on a dungeon today. And I've decided that we're going to be working on the there's a little island off of the western continent, and because it's nice and isolated, we won't have to worry about it affecting too many of the things in the other locations. So the first thing I like to look at is whether a dungeon is going to be something that is utilizing a naturally formed feature, or if it's something that was built specifically. Ooh, okay. Weston's going to jump into chat in just a little bit, which means he's going to be joining via voice. Let me make sure the Discord audio is turned on. Oh, you know what? While I'm at it, let's get some background music going. I've got some of that around here. Not too loud, though. Not too loud. There we go. Alright. So, we're going to decide between a natural form or a fabricated structure. So is this something that was built there, or did it exist already and then people just kind of decided, hey, let's use this? Because it's an island, there's probably not, well, there could be natural forms. There could be caves, tunnels, things like that. But I'm thinking it's probably better to go fabricated structure, because what I'm thinking is maybe this is, you know, a proper dungeon. Somewhere where people were locked away for one reason or another. Which means we're going to have things like cells with bars and possibly like trapped, like a moat, things like that, to prevent anyone from escaping. So let's go with fabricated structure. Ah, my pen is going nuts. There we go, fabricated structure. So, yeah, so we could either go, because fabricated structure, it could be like a place where they hid treasures or a place where they kept prisoners. I immediately jumped to prisoner, but if there are any other opinions, whether it should be a treasure dungeon or a prisoner dungeon, chime in now. And I will just go ahead and give you a couple moments to do that while I start sketching out some room shapes, because what is a dungeon without some rooms? Oop. And these aren't going to have to be like super well defined. I just want to have some shapes available. Actually, let's do... Oh, I'm doing this the dumb way. I know a better way to do this. That's going to be a lot easier. Border. There we go. And then... There we go. That works a lot nicer. And then... Let's put in one of my other favorite shapes to put into a dungeon, especially a fabricated one, is a circular room. They make really great stairwells in case we want to add extra levels. Oh, I need access to my tools, which are over here. Hold on just a second while I get everything actually set up properly. Okay, here we go. So let's make it a perfect circle, like that. Select the border. Okay, and then we're going to give it at least one hall. Got to give it some way of connecting. And then all I need to do from here is to remove the inside lines. Alright, I'm not seeing anything in chat yet as in regards to prisoners versus treasures. So I think let's just go with the prisoner scenario. And we can make this kind of like our own little Alcatraz. So now I've got a circular room, a square room. We can copy these as much as we want to make whatever rooms we want. There's a free shape tool here, free select. Let's do some L-shaped rooms. If you're curious, I'm just using the latest version of GIMP. Again, unfortunate name, great program. So we've got a couple of rooms here. Alright, so we are building a prison of sorts. Let me go back and make sure I mark that on our little list. Alright, so the next thing I want to figure out is this something that's still in operation, or is it abandoned? And we did an abandoned building or at least the template for an abandoned building. It could be occupied. That's up to the person who's writing the adventure to decide. But we wrote it with the intention of it being abandoned as a ruins. So let's go ahead and make this an occupied prison. So, knowing that it's occupied, we're going to have guards, we're going to have prisoner characters, there's possibly going to be some kind of a warden. So these are all things we are going to be building out. And these are things that we'll have to also keep in mind as we build things out, because we'll want to do things like put in an office for the warden, put in a place for the guards to stay, like basically their living quarters if it's a separate kind of building or whatnot. So let's see here. We need a warden. We need guards. And we'll build out like maybe a couple of the guards, just so that there are some guards with personalities. But building out, you know, multiple guards, like, what's this prison gonna need? Like a dozen guards? That's too many to build out on one stream, so we'll just do a couple. And the rest will be generic guards. And we'll do the same thing for any prisoners. Alright. Now, because this is not a long stream, per se, I try and keep it at a couple hours. I wanted to limit our number of levels to 1 or 2 or 3 levels high, or deep. Could also be headed down into the ground, could be underground. More like an oubliette sort of thing. So, because it's a prison, because you're going to want, I say this like I know anything about the prison industrial complex, which I imagine you would want separation between where the prisoners live, where the prisoners interact with like the guards and the rest of the facility, like where they bathe, where they eat, where they exercise, and then like where the guards and the warden's offices and living quarters are. So that to me would indicate 3 levels. So I think we should go with 3 levels. And then we're going to limit the number of rooms per level, just to make this simple enough for us to build out within these couple of hours. So probably not 2. That doesn't seem like enough. Well, the other thing we could do is we could figure it out per level. So if we have 3 levels, then we have, let's say it's the administrative level. Admin. And then we have the community level. I struggle to find another word. Community. Community level. And then we would have the prisoners level. Or the dungeon level. Basically where the prisoners sleep and spend a good deal of their time. Okay, so now to figure out how many rooms we would need. Let's see. For the admin level, we would need at least the warden's office. We would need, like, living quarters for the guards, which, would include some kind of, like, kitchenette, eating area, mess hall sort of thing. I wouldn't presume that they also use the same one to eat as the prisoners. I mean, that could totally be a thing, and they just, like, offset the hours in which they eat. It might be easier to do that. Okay, so let's erase that last one, and we'll put the kitchen mess hall area down here. So Warden's office, guard's living quarters. There's going to be some kind of bathroom setup, I'm sure. Hypothetically, there will be bathrooms on all levels. Yeah, there would have to be some kind of restroom on every level if there are restrooms. And then in admin, there's probably like a registration area or like a guest check-in area or like somewhere where they process people that either are going to work there or stay there. So I think 4 rooms for the first level, the admin level, would be appropriate there. And some of them might be big, broken into some smaller areas. We just kind of want to define the larger spaces that would be connected by halls. So again, the community, we talked about the kitchen already, having some kind of restroom. There would be some sort of exercise facility. Or sometimes exercise facility can also mean manual labor facility. And I don't think we would need much else on that community level. The bathrooms, I think, would include like any sort of cleaning facility, like personal grooming facilities. And then at the bottom level, we would really need, because each cell presumably would have at least some sort of way of relieving yourself, to put it gently. So I think maybe we just have like a minimum security area and a maximum security area for the very difficult prisoners. So we're looking at 4, 3, and 2 for the number of rooms. So, number of rooms. And then let's decide how we want to stack this facility. So, is it above ground or underground? Let me just check out what's going on. Alright, I'm not seeing much in the chat yet. So, I kind of like the idea of it being like an oubliette sort of thing. So maybe like at least the prisoner and the community levels are underground. And the admin area, the processing admin level could maybe be above ground, and it actually could look a little more extravagant if we wanted to. Almost like there's something nefarious about what's going on with the funding for the prison. So this is going to be ground level. And again, we would want that separation between the community level, where the guards also work, and where the prisoners live. Live meaning just sleep, mostly. So community will be B1, meaning basement level 1. And the prisoners will be on B2, which is the lower basement level, basement 2. Okay, so we kind of have an idea of how we're going to structure everything. Level. Okay. Let's zoom back out. Now that we kind of have an idea of what's going on, so we will start. Let's start with the easiest stuff. Let's start with that basement level. So I'm going to take a copy of... I didn't include a stairwell, but let's use this as a central stairwell. So let's make that a little bit smaller. There it goes. And let's go ahead and pop that onto a new level for a second. I'm going to zoom in and we're going to draw some stairs so that we know that this is a stairwell. So I'm going to just kind of cut in a little bit of stair work here. Oop. Coloring outside the lines, Sam. Alright, and this one also continues. So it's kind of like a double helix kind of deal. And then you have these areas where you can hop off. So let's go ahead and move that a little bit. So for the bottom level, I'm still too zoomed in, aren't I? There we go. Let's rotate that as well, because that'll be easier to handle if it's rotated 90 degrees. Okay. So our bottom level, we have the two offshoots. We could do two wings. So let's go ahead and grab this L-shaped room. Nope. I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. Pop that on a new layer. If you're lucky enough to be working in digital art, I highly recommend when building something like this, working in layers, because you are able to move all of these separate rooms around and duplicate them and manipulate them however you need to get it to work. Yeah, so that'll overlap like that. And then we'll have something similar. Maybe let's rotate that 90 degrees. That way. No, I don't like that. Let's mirror it vertically. There. Well, no, that's not very good either. Hold on. I know what to do. Get rid of that. We're going to duplicate this again. And then I'm going to flip it on both axes. That way it's like absolutely mirroring. There's just something really satisfying about shapes that kind of clink together like that. Let's not add any more arms though. Okay, so that will be our bottom level. I'm gonna merge all of those down. Okay. And just drop that there. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have merged them. Whoops. Because I might want to copy them later. Instead, I'm just going to link them all to move them. Because I do want them to move here down to the bottom of the screen. Alright. Now, above that, and in fact I absolutely do need to copy that because we need to show our stairwell at the second level. So for this level we need 3 rooms. So one of them is going to be kind of like an exercise or manufacturing facility. I think that's probably going to be this one. Let's make that one nice and square. Alright, so it's going to go to its own layer now. We're going to move it over to here on the one side. Okay, and then I'm going to take one of these other ones and duplicate it. And let's go ahead and I'm gonna flip it horizontally because I want to use the little nook off of here to put another small square room. Because we need a bathroom and it makes more sense for it to be, or like a locker room. Maybe this is the mess hall? Uh-oh. Do I need another room for the kitchen? I think I need another room for the kitchen. Unless we just make it like a kitchenette kind of thing off of here. Let's do that. So that lines up with that. And then let's get another one of these square rooms and we will just add it on. Where is it? There it is. We'll get another one of these, we'll shrink it down, and then we'll make that the locker room, kind of washroom area. So we'll just scale that down. And actually, let's... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'll give it a second. Sometimes when I use my pen to... Yeah, sometimes when I use my pen to do anything that is like, that brings up this kind of a dialogue box, it flips out when I try and unlink things. So I wanted to make it a little more rectangular. Alright, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set that off to the side and we'll throw in a hallway. Scooch this down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then I need another one of these for our top level. So there's going to be a small room at the front. So let's grab another square. I think that was at the bottom of the stack almost. There we go. And we'll duplicate that, and again we're going to scale it. Oops. This one I want to stay square. Little office at the front. Okay. And then we need to have like the warden's office and the barracks area. So let's grab one of these doodles. Pop that in there. And this is going to be more like a common area. We need another square. Pretty much this size to be offshoot for maybe up here, the warden's office. And then we need one more to be like a little bathroom. Let's go ahead and duplicate that again. There. So not so much in need of guard towers because we're putting mostly people underground. They won't need it. There might be just like stations that they stand at, or sit at, or, you know, just stations where they are posted to watch and make sure that no one escapes. So let's draw in... Oh, we can probably merge all of these down now. Okay, so I have to be careful about what I'm merging, though. Actually, I can just merge all of them together because they're all in order already. Okay. So once we have our structure all merged together... Whoa, what happened? There we go. I'm gonna scale this a little bit because it's taking up so much space. And we need space to work. That should be good. And I'm gonna move it off to the side. Not too far off. That way we can take notes on either side of it. And then this part... Whoop. We don't need as much anymore, so... Let's scale that down. So we have more room to write out what we need to. Let's pop that up there in the corner. Okay. Move that there. All right. And we can send that to the back layer. Alrighty, so let's start at the top. We know that it... Oh, too close. Too close in. Here we go. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to take a minute to label these rooms so that remember what is what. Ugh, my handwriting's awful. Maybe I did want to be closer in for cleanliness. Reception, stairs, this is the guard quarters. This is a bathroom. And then up here is Warden's office. Okay. And then this is the locker room. This is for exercise. Oh, weirdy. Or manual labor. Because we don't know, maybe this is a for-profit prison. And then this is going to be the mess hall and kitchen. And then down here. Oh, come on. Scroll, please. It thinks I'm drawing. Oh no. Okay. Turn off. On. Oh wow, it is flipping out. It doesn't know what to do. Can I save this? Oh no. Okay, I can still save. In fact, that might have fixed it. Why can't I move the screen? Ah! Okay, I might have to shut down GIMP and reopen GIMP. It's doing a weird thing. I hope my whole computer is not doing a weird thing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me check on a different laptop what's happening. I'm still live. Okay. So why can't I do anything? Alright, hold on. We're gonna close this and we're gonna reopen it. Sorry about this. There was a power outage in Las Vegas, at least in my area, not that long ago, and my computer was on during it, and it has been acting a little bit funny ever since. And I'm probably gonna have to go and get it looked at. Okay, here we go. Good old task manager. What is going on? Yeah, I know Streamlabs is open. What about GIMP? What is GIMP doing? Nothing, according to this analysis of the CPU. Do you want to work now? Sometimes under threat. Yes. Under threat of the task manager, it will sometimes work. Alright, let's Alright, so one side needs to be maximum security, and the other side needs to be, I don't want to say minimum security, but lesser security. Let's see. Would I want maximum security people underneath the locker room? Probably not. So let's put maximum security people over on the right side. And then this is going to be average security, typical security, normal prisoners. Okay, so that's mapped out at least. Back to 100%. Now, I want to go down level by level and kind of define what is in each room, what can be an expected encounter for each of them. And, yeah. We'll have to decide, like, how many guards there are. Like I said, we'll give a couple of them personalities. So if you first walk in, it is going to be into this reception area. Okay. Let's go ahead and label that as number 1. Reception. So there's probably someone working there who does the processing, checks in guests, all of that. So actually, let's just write desk person. I don't know why I zoomed out when I know my handwriting just gets the worse and worse the more I'm zoomed out. We need to be in, close up. Eek. Okay. Room 1. Desk clerk. Let's see. So I would imagine there's probably also some sort of like security measure for checking people in, like whether it's like one of those doors that needs like a special key or a button to be pushed to allow you to go through. I imagine this is probably where there's like paperwork involved. Paperwork. I'm just gonna write security glass. Or bars. Basically something that it's like the last line of defense in case somebody were to try and get out. So if I go back over to, oh, I can navigate this way, to the map, reception, all right. So there's probably gonna be like a desk of some kind. There might be like some chairs in places. There's a door that swings to let people in and out. And then there's going to be some kind of like barrier here where there's another door that opens to allow people in, but only after they are properly checked in at the reception desk. Okay. And let's go ahead and leave a spot for an NPC here. An NPC, or if you're writing, just a C, just a character. But for these purposes, it is easy to write NPC as we try and imagine a group of actual players going through. Alright, so going back over, 2 is going to be our stairwell. Oh. I keep trying to mark the bottom of the screen instead of actually scrolling. So, with the stairwell, is there anything we want to add into that area? It's kind of a prime spot to maybe put like a trap as far as like defenses go against escaping prisoners or break-ins for any reason. So we could put in something like stairs that change into a slide. We could put in some kind of pit trap or combination of both. There's also like prime spaces for like automatic firing arrows from the walls, things like that. So there's possible traps in that area. Give me a second. I started new medications and now I'm like super dry-mouthed. Yeah, so let's write in possible traps. The slide to stairs is kind of like, or sorry, stairs to slide is kind of my favorite thing that my brain has come up with so far. Anybody in chat want to chime in on maybe a trap we could add to the stairwell? No pressure. Absolutely no pressure. I still appreciate lurkers. So, if you're just hanging out, watching, enjoying the music, I welcome you to stay and just chill with me. And if you're feeling ever so generous, you can drop me a little bit of a tip over at Coffee. You can also check out the previous work that we've done over there. They are labeled as The Great Map Experiment. Currently there is a starter town named Bogshore and a ruins that are from a futuristic past society. I'm gonna go stairs to slide. It's nice, it's innocuous, it's not gonna kill anybody unless they fall off of the slide. I mean, it's totally up to whoever's running the game or writing the book. But I think that's a good one for that kind of an area. So I'm just gonna write off to the side here, trapped. All of this stuff is gonna get better defined later on, off of stream. I go back in and I make a nice, beautiful, clean copy. I type out all of the information that we've discussed. Okay, room number 3 is going to be these guard quarters. So they probably have like a recreation area over here with like a bookshelf. Maybe some kind of seating area over here for anyone waiting to see the warden. And then back in this area there would be like beds, bunk beds, tables for personal effects. Basically places for these guards to sleep and rest when they're off duty. They're on an island. Unless they want to spend quite a bit on resources, I imagine they probably aren't going to be building their own place out here. So, the question is, how many guards do we think we need for this level of prison where it's not super duper big? Maybe only like half a dozen. No, let's say that there's a dozen. Let's make it a little more challenging. Alright, so we'll say 12 guards. And then maybe there's like 2 that are more in charge, right? So, like 2 at the top of the pecking order. So we'll write senior number 1. Leave space for that NPC. And senior number 2. I like to have guards in pairs. It's just a personal preference. And we'll leave space for those, because I always like to do NPCs at the end. Four is going to be our warden's office. It's going to have a nice desk in there. Probably a filing cabinet, bookshelves. probably like some kind of couch or something. Presumably the warden also sleeps somewhere, and unless he's, you know, very much of his people or her people or their people, they're probably not staying in the same place as the guards. They probably want their separate space. Which makes me wonder if there should be a separate bedroom now and a separate bath, or a combination bed bath beyond. Let's just draw in. I'm not happy with those lines. Draw in a hypothetical extra bedroom. That's attached. So it'll still be like one room, but it'll just have like a separate door off to the side, kind of like a partition. Okay, 4. So let's call this 4B. And then this will be 5. So 4 and 4B. Alright, it's the warden's office. Good God. I don't know what happened to that E. And bedroom. Okay. So we have to leave space for an NPC because we need to make the warden. And then we should probably specify some prisoner files. So if we specify some prisoner files, that gives us information on the NPCs we might meet more at the bottom level or at the community level. And then 5 is just a bathroom. Oh gosh, my handwriting. I'll deal with that later. I can read my own handwriting. I just apologize. I'm sorry to anyone watching if you're trying to read my handwriting. Because it's bad. It's bad with the tablet. I do not have a good one. Okay, let's save progress so far. I don't want to accidentally lose this. Alright, so that's kind of the first level there. So I'm just going to box this. That way I know it's all together. Okay. Let's come over here to write the second level stuff. So, this is still 2, and this is still 2, because it's one tall room. So this is going to be, instead of 5, this will be 6. Oh. And 7. And 8. Okay, so 6. We have a decision to make. Because 6 we designated as like either a place to just purely get exercise and there's no exploitation of the work of the prisoners, or it can be like a manual labor camp sort of thing where they're like doing a bunch of gritty work that no one else wants to do, and the prison is using that as a false rehabilitation method to gain money. And I can tell you what sounds more interesting. But it's cliche, right? It's cliche to write the prison where the prisoners are being treated poorly, and it's kind of... It sounds more interesting on paper, but I think what the more interesting thing might be is if they treat these prisoners fairly well. It's almost more surprising because it's more unexpected, especially in, like, a fantasy setting. So I think let's make it an exercise area, not manual labor. So this is an exercise yard. And we'll put yard in quotations because it's underground. It's not really a yard. It's a pen. So we've got the exercise yard where they can, like... There's probably enough room for, like, some laps running. There's maybe some weights to lift. What other stuff might they have? There's some, like, sporting equipment. Mostly, like, things for basketball and things like that, I would imagine. You wouldn't want to be giving these prisoners bats, even if you are treating them well. Yeah, so maybe let's just some of that stuff. And then 7 is our locker room. So, that's gonna have, like, your shower. That's where you're gonna have your toilets. And it's probably got some actual lockers for clothing. While people are showering, lockers with clothes. And towels. We could make it, like, super outlandish and, like, say that they have, like, a steam room as well. But I don't want to go too overboard. I still want it to feel like a typical dungeon. It's just, like, the way that they treat people is different. So let's not go extravagant with the way that their locker room is set up. Just basic shower, toilets, lockers with clothes and towels. Okay, and then we get to 8. We are making excellent time. 8 is our mess and kitchen. So, we know that... I'm just gonna write food down here. This is where they get food. We're gonna want a cook. Or a chef of some kind. Oh god. I can't stand it. Zoom in. Alright, so we need a cook NPC. And then, we also need... We need an idea of, like, what's available in the kitchen. So kind of like what the kitchen tools are. so what kitchen tools are available? This one's an L. The other one's an I. Available. That's a V. Available. Oh. As long as I can read, it doesn't have to be pretty now. What kitchen tools are available? Excuse me. And then maybe also a menu. Maybe like just 2 or 3 dishes that rotate. What's good prison food? And when I say good prison food, I mean like food for prisoners that isn't terrible. Maybe some kind of meatloaf. Maybe some kind of stew. Wouldn't be terrible. And then like, cause everybody loves pizza day, right? Let's add a pizza day. Or let's call it flatbread. Flatbread day. More generic than pizza. Flatbread Friday. We'll come back to that NPC at the end. We only have a couple more areas to hash out. And again, I'm just going to box this up so that I know that all of these are together on one floor. And I might reduce them in size because it's taking up quite a lot of space, isn't it? Both of them did. Okay. Let me resize those real quick so I have some more space to work with. Bear with me for just a second. Okay. It's about there we go. Okay, and then this side. There we go. All right. And then let's just get rid of those stray lines because we don't need them anymore. There we go. Now I have some more room to work with. Zoom back in. So we've got level 1. Oh gosh. Stop moving when I don't want you to. So this is the ground floor. This is B1. And now we're getting into B2. I'm gonna write it over on this side. So for B2, we have a normal prisoner side and a maximum security prisoner side. So we have to decide how many prisoners in each side. So prisoners. And then, all right, max security. Maximum security. I think there should definitely be fewer maximum security prisoners than there are normal prisoners. And keeping in mind that we have 12 guards, the maximum I would want to do is 2 prisoners for every guard. So that's 24 total prisoners. I'm going to do some math It's gonna be stupid math because it doesn't even really have to happen, but I think it'll be easier for me to think about it this way. Alright, so if we divide that into 3s, that gives us 8? No. Is it 8? Oh, my brain doesn't want to work. 21 is 7, so yeah, 8. So 8, 8, and 8. So let's say 16 normal prisoners and 8 maximum security prisoners. And we don't have to define each one of these. We're just gonna choose a few, give them some names. And then we also want to decide what's going to make maximum security different than normal security. And whether that means like level of discomfort, and to what ends. We can decide that in a minute. I'm actually going to take a quick 5-minute break to run to the restroom, but I'll be back momentarily. Enjoy this splash. Okay, I'm back. I think I just discovered that my air conditioner is broken, which is not great since I live in Las Vegas. Yeah, I was sweating my ass off, and I was wondering, like, why isn't the air conditioner kicking in? It's supposed to kick in when it reaches, like, above 74 degrees, and it's, like, 83 in here right now. So I'm baffled and will be calling the landlord later, I guess. Or rather, I'll make my partner do it because I don't like phones. And I try to avoid them whenever possible. Ooh, do I actually have a message in the map channel? Nope, just some new unreads. Just checking the Discord, so you can if anything's there. Don't forget that if you are in our Discord, you can hop over to the map channel under the Great Map Experiment and submit your input there as well. It's also the area where you're going to find our finished locations as well as on my coffee. So please hop over there, check it out. They are pay what you want, so they are absolutely free unless you want to tip me, which would be greatly appreciated, but you are under no obligation to do so. I am mostly doing this for free, and because I'm crowdsourcing a bunch of the information, I would feel terrible about forcing you to pay money for it, especially since it came from your brains. Okay. Anyway, back to our prisoner dilemma. So let's decide how many of our prisoners we actually want to build out, and these are the ones that will have the prisoner files. I think maybe like 2 or 3 of the regular prisoners, and maybe like 1 maximum security prisoner we could get info on, just to kind of give a sample of the type of people that are in the maximum security. So let's do 3 NPCs. Let me scoot that over here, and again zoom. And then for the maximum security, 1 NPC. Okay. Now, here's the thing. So we put in a trap for the stairs to turn into a slide for the upper levels. But for the lower level, you know, there should be a first line of defense. And the easiest thing that I can think of is for there to be some kind of a pit trap. Which would include, like, it would have to, not include, but like operate in a way where, like, the bottom is there unless the doors are opened without the proper key, or they're broken through, or something. The other option is we could go the magical route and figure out some kind of magical trap. But I feel like that might be too much for this type of place. So maybe there's just like, not even like a spiky pit trap, just like a, oh, what were you doing? All right, let's get you out of this hole and put you back where you belong kind of pit trap. Innocuous. It's an innocuous pit trap. I'm just imagining, like, this dungeon being, like, the warden is basically, like, whoever the character is, they're played by Rhys Darby. Oh, hey, you alright? You fell in the hole. Let's get you back into your cell. Like, just this most polite warden ever. Alright, so I think we have a pretty good start here. So I'm going to go through and let's count out those NPCs to find out how many we need to build out. And I did leave space for these here, but I'll probably write them in another place. Let's find out. So we've got, oh, I'm gonna use my fingers. Got a desk clerk. We've got the warden. We've got 2 guards that we're gonna build out. We're gonna do the cook. We're gonna do 3 normal prisoners and 1 maximum security prisoner. That's 9. Okay. Luckily, we don't have to build everything out. Everything. Like, I'm not trying to stat out all of the guards. Like I said, this is more general. It's not necessarily going to be pre-translated into a TTRPG system. It's more loose and more ideas. It's idea fuel for that type of thing. So we just want to assign some like names and personality traits. Is really what we're trying to do, but we have 9 of them to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this desk clerk. Let's write out spaces over here because we've got a nice chunk of space. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit. Okay. Over here. NPCs. So desk. So our desk person will need a name. So here's the things that we're going to get. We're going to do name, fantasy race, we are going to do personality, in a broad sense, just pick some like adjectives that describe the person. And then if they have any abilities, we want to define them here, like anything special, like, oh, this person is a brawler, or this person knows how to use a sword, anything like that. So special skills. Let's write it that way. So those are the types of things we are looking at. And I guess we could like gender as well, but I you know, we can also let the writers decide what gender everybody is and just give names. And it honestly doesn't matter what kind of name because I have a brother. Oh, Deskiel. Oh, Deskiel. For the desk worker. I'll just, done. No. It's actually good. I like it. Can we switch up the spelling? Let's, Deskiel. How about that? Deskiel or... Oh, terrible handwriting. Dex-el? Weston says up to me. I'm gonna go with the X. It's always more fun to go with an X. They get underused in our language. Put on the wrong layer. Merge down. Okay. So we've got our fantasy name. What fantasy race are they going to be? Always use X, says Weston. So I guess by we haven't really thought about this yet, but like we could have this particular prison run by a particular race. Or we can have it run like mixed races but in factions. So like maybe it's like all of the quote bad guy creatures, so it could be like orcs and goblins and gnolls working together, kobolds, things like that. The last time we talked about like races, because we didn't really talk about races that much except for in a very like general ambiguous sense with the ruins, was when we did Bogshore and we made it like this more halfling gnomish village. So what do you think, Weston? Do you like the idea of like a goblin run prison or something like that? I think leave it loose. Like, don't worry about defining the races. We can do that. We can skip over that. Like, it could be anybody. Having a name, though, helps. I always find that having the name helps because that's the one thing my players always want to know whenever they meet a new NPC. What's the name? They honestly, like, they sometimes don't even remember what races the characters are, so it's totally okay to leave it out there. Alright, but we do want some personality traits. What should this desk person be like? Are they like the nervous type? Are they just totally relaxed in their job? Are they on edge? Are they like the jolliest person there? High strung. Okay, I like that. High strung. Oh. I skipped a whole word. High strung. I like that. So they're high strung. They have a high strung personality. But they're good at something. So what is Dexiel's special skill? And it could be anything from like fighting to paperwork, desk work. Well, desk work can mean a lot of things. Like, is it more answering messages? Is it processing? Is it like being able to schedule? The more specific we get, the funnier we can get it to be, and the more realistic the world will feel. The thing that I think of most when I think desk work is definitely paperwork. So let's, I got my paperwork for now. Alright, so we're gonna leave that for the time being, and then we have the two guard characters that we wanted to define. I can speak. So these are the guards that would have seniority over the other guards. They're kind of more in charge, maybe closer to the warden. Warden's general assistant manages a large portion of non-guard staff. Ah, okay. So, like, management. They're good at management. Alright. So, senior guard 1. And senior guard 2. These guards need names. Let's see. How about I pick a name and then chat, you can pick a name. So what would be a good name? Let's see. How about one of them is Roderick? Roderick. Roderick. Brody. Related to Andy. Okay, we got Roderick and Andy. Let's see, does Andy have a last name? Andy's gotta have a last name. Andy... Well, I will wait on a last name for Andy in case it is there. Weston, you're always welcome to help me out. And then, let's see. I think Roderick is like the nice cop guard. They're brothers? Okay, Andy Brody and Roderick Brody. Oh, that I like that. They got a job at the same place. They're brothers who are in charge. Oh no! Is the warden their dad? Or their mom? The warden is their parent. This is the only way that this is making sense in my brain. The warden has to be one of their parents. Or grandparents, like someone... Oh yeah, you betcha. Alright, we've got a second on that. It's a parent. So, let's go ahead and write that down. The warden... And we don't have to even, like, give a first... It's just Warden Brody. Oh, what if it's, Warden Warren Brody? The warden is named Warren. I like that. Alright, so we've got all of them. They're all related. Who's older, do you think? Andy or Roderick? Because whoever's older is probably the brother that's got it more together. And one of them is definitely, like, good cop. One of them is definitely, like... Or, like, tries to be bad cop. Doesn't mean they're good at being bad cop. Let's say that Roderick is older. He's older by, like, 1 year. In the quotes, right? We gotta put good cop in quotes because good cop is still cop. And then Andy is the younger one. Maybe he's got like a chip on his shoulder kind of thing. Bad cop. Alright. I'm gonna put a squiggle here so I know that that's separated. Alright, Weston, you take your time. Do what you gotta do. In the meantime, I will write out about Warden Warren Brody. So, I think that they're very stern. They're probably very stern. I feel like they would be nicer to the prisoners than they would be to their children. And, yeah, we're not going to give the sons any, like, particular skills. They don't necessarily need to have any particular skills. They're going to have the same skills as every other guard. They're just going to have more personality. And then the warden, if they have any special skills, I feel like maybe it should be something combat related. So if this does become something of a fight, then they can be, like, the big bad of this area. So they have combat skills. So then, I think that's everybody on the first level. On the second level, we needed the cook. Yep, cook. The cook will need a name, but I can tell you already, the cook is going to have knife skills. And those knife skills can translate to combat. So, again, just thinking in terms of, like, making an encounter or, like, an adventure through for this location, like a prison break kind of thing, you would be able to have, like, a mini-boss on the second level, fighting your way up to the exit, and then have to fight the Warden before you can escape. So, just kind of thinking in levels there with what you can do with that. So we want to be able to give the cook some knife skills, and then we'll have to give them some personality traits as well. So, I mean, the cook doesn't necessarily have to have a name. There are plenty of cooks that just get called Cookie. Let's just call him Cookie. Let's not make it complicated. We've got other things to handle. And the prisoners are going to be more fun. Cookie the Cook. That's just a nickname. Nobody knows their real name. Nobody knows. So, we need 3 normal prisoners. So, number 1. Number 2. And number 3. And then our maximum security prisoner number only. Number 1. And yes, I do switch which one I draw depending on where I'm drawing it and when. Okay. So we're gonna have to come up with some cool prisoner names. Let's see. You know what? I might actually, I might pull up like a name generator type of thing. Like one of those like nickname things where you like pick from the 3 columns. And we can come up with some of our own. Let's come up with some of our own. So, we need, like, adjectives. So, like, mad, fighting, or fightin', so we got like one is gonna be mad animal, one's gonna be fightin', and then like a name. And then maybe like one where it's like the crime that they like to commit plus the name. And then the last one can just be like like their nickname is the, and then any noun. Preferably a menacing sounding one. Alright, so, mad animal, because I'm just thinking like the thing that comes to mind automatically is Mad Dog McCree, which it's been a while, but that's from a video game, I think. Like one of those like reaction shooters, which is, it's bad. It's real bad. Let's see. One of these needs to be female, for sure. Let me make these smaller because that's not actually what's going to remain on the screen. These are just guides. Okay. So Let's see. I'm just gonna pick an animal. Mad. What's something that's, Ooh, okay. How about a llama, because they spit? Mad llama. And then I need a name to go with llama. And then we'll get rid of that one. Mad llama. Mickleby. Okay, the next one's gonna be fighting something. And I'd like to get some alliteration in that one, I think. How about... fighting... Oh, I'm gonna have to move these again or get rid of them. Yeah, we'll remember that. Crime name, the noun. Okay. The fightin' Fistarin. Okay, and then this one was gonna be crime and name. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make it Arson Sally. Actually, let's... Arson Sandry. And then... the... and something... something that sounds scary. Let's go with like, let's go with a battle axe. The battle axe. But no E on the end of axe there. So those are our 4 prisoners. They have names now. So let's see. They need each a personality trait. All right. And we're running out of time, aren't we? So Mad Llama Mickleby needs a personality trait. What kind of personality? And these are the lower security prisoners. So these are the ones that are probably not gonna lash out as much. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say, just because they need the maximum security, that the battle axe is a barbarian. And maybe they are also a bit of like a what's a way of describing, like, Bane's personality type? Because I keep thinking Bane from Batman. Like, just kind of full of themselves. Pompous. That's the word I'm looking for. Hello.
Hey, bud.
Hey, Weston, how's it going?
Oh, I have gotten all of my laundry from an embarrassing amount of time since the last time I did laundry done.
Oh, nice. I started switching to like just doing 1 load of laundry a day, and it's been life-changing, because like it's just 1 and then I get it done and then I don't have to worry about laundry for the rest of the day.
That's kind of brilliant.
I know, I only discovered this method like a couple of months ago.
Well, I'm glad you found something that works for you.
Yeah. I've just been working on naming prisoners, so tell me what'd you think of these names? Oh, hi Nate the Sound Ninja.
Oh, what's up, Nate?
I'm sorry I missed your stream earlier today. I was dealing with, like, some doctor stuff, so I wasn't able to hop in, but I saw that you were streaming earlier today with some music making.
Yeah. It was nice. I was there for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do hear a Weston. Weston is here in chat with me. He was in the text chat earlier, but we switched to voice, which is fun. Okay, so the names I'm gonna run by you. I wanted.
Oh yeah, hit me.
I wanted to do something where, you know, like the where it's like Mad and then an animal name and then like the person's name. So we have Mad Llama Mickleby.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because I'm like, you know, llamas can be super mean. They spit all the time. It's awful, and you know, it's innocuous sounding in a way, but it's actually quite dangerous.
Oh, 1000%. I love it.
Okay, and then we've got Fightin' Fistarin.
Fightin' Fistarin.
Mm-hmm. And then I wanted one where it was like the name of a crime and then the name of the person. So we've got Arson Sandry.
Arson Sandry. Okay.
And then the last one is our maximum security prisoner who just goes by the Battle Axe.
Ah, okay.
So kind of just like
Is that the one you were talking about has like a personality, shares a personality with Bane?
Yes, yeah, I was kind of thinking like the Bane personality. I ended up just writing the word pompous.
Oh, Bane, so Bane from
Batman.
The Batman movie.
Yeah.
The movie. Okay, because I always characterize Bane as just like completely unhinged, like he's, you know, I always imagine him, I guess, a lot more like the Batman movie, Batman Forever? No, it's Batman and Robin. That's right. Wow. So Bane might be the best part of Batman and Robin. Whoa.
I forgot completely that Bane was in that movie.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's been a long time since I went back and watched Batman and Robin.
I
Batman
feel like
Forever.
we were talking about this recently. Yeah, exactly. Batman and Robin is unforgivable. It's bad, but Batman Forever might be worth a rewatch because it's definitely got some perks going through it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm sorry. So this is your Battle Axe man.
Yeah. So I was giving him some personality traits. Just to kind of go into it, I've decided that they're probably a barbarian if they're in the maximum security because they would have to be pretty dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided that he's probably kind of pompous, which probably skews them more towards like the evil alignment.
Sure.
And I'm just trying to come up with some personality traits for our other prisoners.
Okay, so we have Llama Jeff, what was it?
Mad Llama Mickleby, Fightin'
Mad Llama
Fistarin,
Mickleby.
Arson Sandry, and the Battle Axe I
Arson Sandry.
kind of already sorted out.
Who the fuck is Jeff, Weston?
I don't know, but we can change it to Mad Llama Jeff if you want, because that sounds super funny.
No, I think you've done a fabulous job naming these characters. I really like them. So it's Mad Llama, what was it again?
Mickleby.
Okay, so Bad Llama Mickleby, I mean, is a name that needs a big personality, right? Like, even if you're coming into this game and you want to create most of your NPCs, this is the one that I feel like anyone is going to want to play Bad Llama Mickleby in their game, you know?
Yeah, it
they
kind
run that
of
one as is.
it kind of gives like off that bard vibe where it's like they talk a bigger game than what they can actually give.
Okay, I follow that. I also think it's like the creativity aspect of Bad Llama Mickleby kind of like tells us about the character without ever having to tell us about the character. I mean, this is obviously his own name he's given himself, right? So we know that, A, he knows what a llama is. I think that's obvious, but definitely worth saying. meaning that probably have some kind of experience with maybe a rural background or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also not necessarily super fond of that period of their life, maybe, because they associate llamas with something that's tough or cruel. And honestly, looking at a llama, that's the last thing most people are going to think.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you've spent a significant amount of time with them, enough to know that they are kind of bastards.
They're assholes.
Exactly. So I imagine he's got some experience on. Maybe he grew up on a farm and always wanted to be a musician in a tavern and live an exciting life in the big population center. But his parents were always trying to repress his rebellious nature, man. So he leaves in a big huff, and it's his one life's regret now that he's in prison, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so maybe it's the type of thing where since he resents that rural background, he wanted to make a bigger life for themselves. Maybe they got caught robbing a bank or something like that.
Oh, I love a bank robber. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna write down bank robber from meager beginnings.
Yeah, and I bet they're the type that wouldn't even been I'm gonna keep all this money. They were I'm just gonna throw this money out of a wagon. I don't even care about the money.
Yeah, straight up like a 20s gangster.
Yeah, I just want the street cred.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's all it is I did it for the fame.
Yeah, totally. I love this guy. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna make that note. Did it for the fame. And when people ask you who robbed this bank, you tell them it was Mad Llama Mickleby.
And everyone's just what the fuck, dude? Who?
Okay, so we've got, next up is Fightin' Fistarin.
And Fightin' Fistarin, obviously in for, just general roughhousing or starting some kind of big fight in a tavern. I mean, he feels like your typical aggressive tough, Yeah. Maybe not the most personality, but definitely not someone you want to you meet in a dark alley at night.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing they probably, picked a fight with the wrong person to end up in jail.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Maybe a lord or what's the lower tier feudal lords?
The gentry.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe he accidentally killed somebody from the gentry, and that's how it happened. He fought him too hard.
Yeah, no, it's a one hit. He just goes up to this guy thinking he's gonna start a fight with him, hits him with his opener, his jab, and the guy just falls down
just
dead.
A glass jaw.
Sometimes I just don't know my strength.
One hit killed a man.
Real name is Saitama.
It's One Punch Man. He did it from turning around too, so 360 no scope, punched in the face, killed, dead.
Yeah.
Actually, he's got a scope on his arm for his fist.
Wait, is it a tattoo, or does he have on a gauntlet? He has a
on a gauntlet. That's what I'm imagining. Hold on while I aim my punch.
This guy's a terror.
So as far as their personality goes, obviously they are incendiary in a way, but is that the only facet to their personality, or is there another side that, when they're not fighting comes out?
Oh, they're also the jail's baker.
The baker?
Yeah, they bake the bread, all the bread for the jail.
Oh, okay. So they'll work closely with Cookie then. Works in kitchen. Maybe that's the one thing that they really enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah.
works in... kitchen. Baking. As long as I can read my notes, I can translate it later. Alright.
Hell yeah.
So we've got one more person. We've got Arson Sandry. Crime's right in the name.
Yeah, I mean, man, Arson Sandry. Arson Sandry definitely, like, I don't know. I'm going sand, I'm thinking beach, I'm thinking, like, this guy grew up maybe, like, in a coastal area, or, something like that.
Do you think that maybe they're, like, a surfer-type person with just, like, a compulsion to, like, set things on fire?
Oh, I love that. I was gonna say pirate. What if they're a pirate surfer?
Ooh, pirate surfer that just feels compelled to light things on fire.
Yes! It's part of their whole, like, aesthetic.
They're all into the raising of cities, but they just raise whatever they can.
I love it. Oh my goodness. So many clean clothes!
It's wonderful, isn't it?
I'm not kidding you. I haven't seen some of these clothes in a year.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Is it just that I haven't done any laundry in a year? But it's just like we didn't do like all of it at certain points where we just needed like this or that clean and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. So it just doesn't make it into the rotation.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand that completely. Like, during the winter, I have, like, about a dozen pairs of wool socks that go through the washer, and we've just slowly been starting to phase them out, so I still have, like, 2 that are in rotation that I gotta get out of rotation.
Oh, dude, I've had my wool socks that, you know, I wear during the winter. I've had the some pairs for, like, so long. I just wear them with these gigantic friggin' holes in them, because still... even with these huge holes in them, they're more comfortable and warmer than any of the other little tiny socks that I wear for most of the rest of the year.
Yep. It's kind of the same deal here. Like, it's still too cold in the morning, so I want my feet to be warm. Especially since, like, everywhere in our apartment is carpeted except for the kitchen and the bathroom, which are the 2 places that I have to go into in the morning.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So I'm sorry that you only got to join, like, right at the end, but I think we've actually got all of the information that we need for our dungeon.
Hell yeah.
So, the one thing that we don't have is a name for this dungeon / prison, and, it is kind of, like, partially in underground. I was inspired by the oubliette from The Labyrinth. So, I don't know if we want to factor that in, but let's name this prison.
Yeah, let's see. What's, like, a good name for so this prison isn't, like, you're going for something that's very outside of what we deal with in this reality, so, like, we're not trying to name it, like, Oppression Palace or something like that.
Not necessarily, no. It is on an island similar to Alcatraz, so we can just kind of name it whatever we want, and maybe that can even become the name of the island.
No, I like that.
I'm gonna zoom in so I have space to write it nicely.
What about, PilgrimStar Rehabilitation Center, or something like that?
I like that. It makes it sound super innocuous. PilgrimStar.
Exactly, yeah.
Is it like PilgrimStar, one word, but the S of star is still capitalized?
I mean, I love that aesthetically, so yes.
PilgrimStar Rehabilitation. Did you say center or facility?
I think I said center, but I do like either. Either works really well.
I like center too. Center sounds nicer than facility, doesn't it?
it does sound like you're going there for a nice time.
Yeah,
yes.
it's
facility does make it sound a little more industrial.
Yeah, this is a center. You get the pills from in the cup directly from the nurse. In the facility, you have to like go to the window where they have the glass panel where you can't attack them through it. That's the difference, I think.
Okay. I dig it.
Anyway, I think that's it for this this location. We've got everything we need to get it built. We've got a basic map set out with the different levels. We've got all of these wonderful NPCs that we built out, at least personality-wise. And I say built out in the loosest term because we don't stat things here. That is for the dungeon masters, game masters, and writers to do.
Well, thank you for having me, Sam. I'll listen to the rest of your stream off chat.
Awesome. Thank you for joining, Weston. It was great to hear your voice again. And I'm going to look forward to the next time I see you for, I believe it's Jackbox, right? No, we got to record Ignore the Bird tomorrow.
We got tomorrow, yeah, I was going to say.
we got some big things with Ignore the Bird as well. I'm just going to, we can't say yet, but just wait. Just wait for the next episode because we have big news to announce. But in the meantime,
Sam, take care.
Oh yeah, take care, Weston, and take care, everybody else. Thank you again for joining. If you are joining us in the future and watching this on VOD, please make sure to go over to our Twitch channel and not really subscribe, but just follow for now. We don't really have subscriptions set up just yet, but if you follow, we will be one step closer to being able to do that. And you can also check us out over at nerdcrafty.com and on all of our social media accounts. All of the links should be somewhere on Twitter. Or not the Twitter, the Twitch. There's too many of these. And I will see you in 2 weeks. That is when I will be back with another round of map building, and I will figure out another fun thing to map out and add a new location, and I'll show you the updated map and all of that. In the meantime, have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you then. Bye!